I'm very, very thrilled to introduce our next participants, Gilbert and George and Victoria. Gilbert and George are truly marathon pioneers. Julia Peyton-Jones, our teams, and I quote them every day here at the Serpentine. Art for all is our mantra, and we cannot imagine a marathon without Gilbert and George. They participated in 2006 in the interview marathon, then the manifesto marathon, the poetry marathon, the map marathon, the memory marathon, the 89+ marathon, and most recently last year, their memorable participation in the Extinction Marathon, which produced a whole new body of work, the banners, which has been created over the last couple of months. We are incredibly excited that after their extraordinary transformation, as Gilbert and George said the other day when they joined us at the Google Hangout with Ethel Adnan and Julia Jacques, they talked about the transformation in '69 of actually becoming Gilbert and George. We are very, very thrilled that today it's a new transformation. It's Gilbert and George and Victoria. Please give a very, very warm welcome to Gilbert and George and Victoria.
It was wonderful. We met you in Monaco in this year or last year?
It was last year.
It was last year. We didn't meet you. Our assistant met you. That's quite a funny story.
It's a curious story because we had an exhibition there at a museum in a house which had been the home of the American manufacturers of Johnson's wax polish. And the house had become a museum, and we had a show there with the collection of the late Massimo Martino, who collected more than 60 pictures of ours. And we were there, and then we arranged for Yui Gang, our Chief of Staff assistant, to come to our hotel at 12 o'clock, and we would find somewhere nice for lunch. But he was a little bit late, and that was very awkward because we were staying in an extremely grand hotel. But most of the guests were not very grand. They were rather casually, one could almost say scruffily dressed. And we were waiting in the foyer of the hotel for Yui Gang, and we were being mistaken for management or staff. People were asking us for directions the whole time. And then finally Yui Gang arrived with Victoria. And he met Victoria in front of the once famous Victoria Hotel.
And what did he say to us?
And being a very coarse Chinese person, he said, "Look what I've found for you, catch of the day." Which we forgive him for. And we had the most wonderful lunch, do you remember? On the hill at the top?
Yes, because you were there on holiday, not for your birthday. Yes. So it's quite exciting because we took you to the opening of our show, and we had a dinner there, and that's why it was quite exciting in some way.
Very exciting.
It was wonderful to have a new friend which had the same name as our second favorite monarch. I could have said second favorite queen, but I didn't. No.
And then we met you 2 or 3 times. He came to our openings in London, and it was quite amazing because you are the transformation more than us, I must admit, because we transformed ourselves from being ordinary people when we were in 1968 as what you call country boys. We transformed ourselves into a living sculpture, and that was the biggest transformation we ever did, because we became different. We see every human being as different in that moment that we became the object.
You know, we believe that it was something that happened to us, or something that was made for us. And I imagine you have a similar idea. How do you feel about the idea of your transformation? Your earliest, you talked about your early days when you were 2 or 3 years old with your parents.
Yeah, I remember when my mom always used to tell me that when I was like 2 years old, they would give me gifts like toy cars, and instead I would trade it with my neighbor with Barbie dolls and girly stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And then?
And then what about in school? Well,
In school, I always remember having very short hot pants, which I wore as my uniform, so.
I'm not surprised.
And yes, but you felt different already that time, or you started to feel different later?
No, I always felt like I always wanted to be a girl. I always try on my aunt's high heels, and
I always tried to be a boy, but
so yes.
And so when did you make the real decision that that is what you wanted to be?
As I was growing up in the Philippines, I always wanted, but it was quite hard because in the Philippines you live in a patriarchal society, and my father was quite strict, and growing up as a Catholic, it was really hard. But when I came over to London to study and apparently got my job as a nurse, I was more confident, and therefore I made up my mind that I want to be this.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Extraordinary.
So was it, you came to work at the hospital first, in fact, yeah?
Yes. I'm a qualified nurse now.
Victoria works at a very famous hospital. Is it Northwick Hospital?
Northwick Park.
Yeah.
And?
It has the most successful recovery rate for heart things. I'm not saying that Victoria's entirely responsible. And then you said your parents were Catholic, because that's part of our campaign as well.
Yes.
When we did the last marathon, we realized that we didn't want to talk about saving the planet or not saving the planet. We wanted to say something not on that subject. We wanted to say something to the people who came here. And we realized that it had to be done visually. And so we went to Atlantis and bought the 2 biggest sheets of watercolor paper that are manufactured and just wrote very simply on them and came with those 2 banners, which was burn that book and
fuck the planet.
And that led on.
Then we realized we could do some other ones. You know?
We went home and we thought we didn't know where to put these 2 big sheets of paper. And we thought it's silly to fill them up or throw them away. And then we realized we could have them mounted onto linen so they would become like real objects and real banners rather than watercolors. And then we thought, what do you do with them? Where do you put them? And then we remembered that if you're sailing on a sailing ship, you have something called eyelets, these brass eyelets. So we found a firm that supplied us with a machine and the eyelets to put 3 eyelets along the top. So all you have to do is put 3 nails on the wall and hang it up. You don't have to frame it or anything. And so we decided to continue. And having done Burn That Book and Fuck the Planet, we went on to...
Then we did Ban Religion.
And Decriminalize Sex.
And we did one, Fuck the Teachers.
And then we did God Save the Queen.
Then we did Fellatio for All.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh. It's very strange when people say the fellatio for all is their favorite. We always say, are you thinking of yourself or others? And then we did Fuck Him.
And then we did Make Cunnilingus Compulsory.
It's not a favorite, it seems. And then we did the final one, which made the 10, which is Fuck Him, but with a capital H.
And they are going to be...
We didn't want to exclude the divine.
We are going to show them at the Y Cube in November. It's going to be very exciting.
And 6 of them are on show at the moment at a very curious exhibition of Hans Ulrich's in Paris called Take Me, I'm Yours, in the Museum of Money, I believe. Is that right? Yes.
But in the end, our banners are a part of the frustration that is inside everybody, no? Don't you think we have to liberate ourselves?
Oh, yes,
and saying what they call ban religion is quite a good motto to start, don't you think?
No comment on that.
You don't comment on that?
And now, the future? Do you have plans for your future?
My future plans is maybe just...
A wedding?
Probably, yes.
Wonderful.
Maybe, one day.
A wedding. We could be your best man. But you're very happy with the nursing career at the moment. Yes.
It's very nice to touch people's life. It's a very demanding job, but it's rewarding.
Extraordinary. Wonderful.
So how do you, yes, do you feel what you call when you walk the streets of London, do you feel satisfied?
Oh, yes. Just everything is in the mind. You just need to feel confident and just face everyone, just show that.
Fuck them. Yeah.
Fuck them all.
I think that's about it.
You're a very great lady, and a very dear friend of ours. We love you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.